What's going on YouTube? Captain Redbeard back on the Division 2. I got a Backfire striker build to show you. So let's get into it and I'll show you what I got. So starting at the top, I'm using the Gunner Specialization. I'm using that to get the 10% armor on kill. Gives you a bit of a reload speed after you kill 3 enemies. And you also get a little bit of weapon handling if you've been in cover for over 1 second. So the main weapon I'm using is the Backfire. Expertise is only 11 on this. SMG damage, critical hit chance, and damage to target out of cover is maxed out. And the talent is Payment in Kind. Dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of plus 2% critical hit damage, up to 100 stacks, lasting 10 seconds. On reload, apply a 10-second bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. Backup weapon, I'm using the ACS-12. No expertise, shotgun damage, damage to armor, damage to target out of cover is maxed out, and the talent's flatline I have on this amplifies weapon damage by 15% to pulsed enemies. Probably change that to something else on the build. I just left it there because I like using that with Heartbreaker and I haven't changed it, and it still works pretty good, but you can pick whatever talent you want to put on there. So starting with the gear pieces here, I'm going to go with the Striker and then the backpack and the chest piece. So Striker mask. The brand set bonuses I'm getting is plus 15% weapon handling, plus 15% rate of fire, and the 4 pieces Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stacks lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks, 2 stacks lost per second between 50 and 100 stacks. Core attribute is weapon damage, no expertise, and for the minor I have hazard protection and a bleed resistance mod. For the gloves, core attributes weapon damage. As you can see, it's just a little over halfway. It's not even completely maxed out at all. I just put this together quickly so I can show you how much damage it does. And I mean, obviously, if I get that maxed out, it's going to do that much more. But weapon damage, hazard protection. Knee pads, same thing. Like 3/4 of the way for the weapon damage and hazard protection. So it still needs a little bit of optimization there on the build. And the holster, weapon damage, hazard protection. Alright, let's go up to the backpack. I'm using Memento. Memento comes with all 3 core attributes, weapon damage, armor, and skill tier. Expertise is 28 on the backpack with a bleed resistance mod. What makes it work so well with this build is the talent kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. Get plus 5% weapon damage, plus 10% bonus armor, plus 5% skill efficiency. For every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and plus 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. One of the reasons I like this backpack so much is because it lasts so long. It's not, you're not looking at like a 60-second cooldown. You got 300 seconds there and maximum 30 stacks. Really works out well, and it helps with the damage, the armor, everything. For the chest piece, I am using a Sokolov Concern. Brand set bonus I'm getting is plus 10% SMG damage just to help with the backfire, doing a little bit more damage. Core attributes weapon damage, expertise is 13. Minor attributes crit chance, crit damage with a crit damage mod. Talents Intimidate. While you have bonus armor, gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 9. Each stack increases weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when you have no bonus armor. So I'll get the bonus armor with the Memento. With the Intimidate, it ups the damage that the enemy takes a bit, and it works out really well. So the armor on this build, we're sitting at 975, but we get 10% armor when we pick up the trophy. So when I'm fully stacked up, I'm getting an extra like 1.1 million armor. So altogether, that's over 2 million armor, because I get like 117,000 bonus armor every time I pick up 1 trophy. Right, so when I'm full, 1.1 plus the 975 base, you got like 2 million. Skills I'm using is the Decoy and the Crusader Shield. Expertise is 28 on both of these, but as you can see, the build doesn't have very much expertise at all. I mean, the backpack is at 28. I use it on a lot of other builds. These two pieces I just happened to pick up to put this build together because the Backfire, like the talent says, gives you bleed. So I wanted to try to mitigate as much of that as I possibly could. And I can actually get more because I have a crit damage, but this is the way I set this up. And I just want to remind you, any build that you look at is basically just a template. Mess around with it. Get it to how you want it. I mean, you could make this build with all damage without any bleed resistance. You could put Bloodsucker on the backpack as a talent and get a whole bunch of armor doing it that way. And if the bleed doesn't bother you, then you could do so much more damage with this build. So if we're looking at the stacks, sitting at 58% critical hit chance, 84% critical hit damage. Before any of the stacks are up. The armor, there we are, we're at 975. Hazard protection, 57.5. Bleed resistance, 77.3. And let's take a look at the weapon damage bonuses that we're getting. We're getting 40% submachine gun damage bonus, and all weapons damage bonus, we're at 101.9. This is a pretty cool build here with the Backfire. Get your stacks up. Get your trophies, does damage, got some survivability. Pretty good. Get your stacks up here. Switch over to the Backfire. You bleed a bit. And when I get all my trophies, I will actually be doing like 1.2 million body shots. Right here in the shooting range, I'm at 859, as you can see there. But in the gameplay, you can see it just melts them. And with the 10% armor on kill, gives me a little bit of extra survivability, and then I'm picking up the trophies. So there it is. I think the hardest part about this build would be to get the Memento backpack and the Backfire, but for me, the Backfire drops, pretty often. I've crushed a whole bunch of them that I haven't needed. But if you don't want to use the Memento or you don't have it, another good option, for newer players is if you have, what was I using? I was using, I think the Bellstone. It was giving me the armor regen. I rolled hazard protection on it. I had the crit damage, and I had the Bloodsucker. Killing an enemy adds stack of plus 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds. That's another really good option. Either way, still a great build, a lot of fun. But for the gameplay that I'm going to show you, I had the build set up just like this. And for the modifiers, we have the Assault Link. I'm using Safety First for the hazard protection because it increases it 7.5% for each stamina tier. I'm using Loaded Up. 25% of your critical hit chance value is added as crit damage while at tier 5 in firearms. And I have tech upgrades. Well, at least tier 3 in both firearms and electronics, your skill duration is increased by 25% of your current critical hit damage value. And that's how I'm using that. Alright, let's get into the gameplay. If you like this video, hit that like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
The best way in.
out with it.
Incoming.
Keep moving. We need to clear the next hall.
Back the fuck off!
When you're done fucking things up there.
So cut through the planetarium. We gotta secure that ordnance.
Uncover some of their secrets. Earth, the third rock from the sun. Our home may not be the center of our universe, but so far it is the only planet that can support life as we know it. In the vast reaches of space, it's irrational to think that our little planet is the only place capable of creating and sustaining life. We know that Mars once had vast oceans, that many of the elements found on Earth could only be created in the intense heat of a supernova. While no other planet in our solar system sustains life, it's possible that the building blocks that allowed organisms to evolve from single-cell amoebas to complex living started as nothing more than the ash of a dying star light years away. Evidenced by these images. At one point, more than 3.8 billion years ago, up to 1/3 of the Martian surface could have been covered by ocean. Martian exploratory craft has sent out evidence of more recent water flows as well, ranging from gullies and dried river systems to what appear to be ancient lake beds. There are also minerals present on the surface of Mars that could only have been formed in a liquid water environment. Today, water can be found on Mars largely as ice at the Martian North Pole, although small quantities exist as water vapor in the thin Martian atmosphere.
Mechanical components detected.
Agent, have Isaac scan the parts.
Damn it. The salvage crew just ran into those reinforcements. They need backup.
factory's out of action and they lost a big stockpile of ordnance. Throw in the fact that the settlements can scavenge those workbenches.